Okay, next we're talking about releasing the abdominal pressure, okay? And a lot of people, they breathe into their chest very shallowly and they end up getting a lot of blockage in their diaphragm, which is the big muscle that separates the ribs from the belly, right? It's a wonderful muscle to release and it brings a lot of tension down and out of the body. You know, one of the big things about meditation, if you want to go that far, is about breathing down into Dantian or Ren 6 and opening the entire lungs, the belly and the diaphragm and the chest, instead of, especially in a Western civilization, as you get more stressed and anxious, you end up breathing into the chest, very shallow breaths. So this is a wonderful release post-heavy deadlift or squat day or ab day, but also just about getting your breathing right and relaxing the body. Basically, I want to take a big ball, it could be a basketball, a soccer ball, or one of these medicine balls, and I'm just going to push it here into my belly, obviously on the floor so I can relax into it. I'm going to move it around, and basically it's just going to put pressure into releasing the diaphragm. Now you've got a diaphragm here and also a diaphragm down there. So be mindful not to do it with the full bladder, but you'll enjoy the movement. Okay, another one. Obviously a bigger ball has a bigger circumference, right? So it's going to hurt less, even though technically it's bigger. Getting it down to a smaller ball, these are more accurate and fingerprint, right? If you get a massage from a female, she's typically got smaller fingers than a male, so they hurt more, they're sharper is the word I'm looking for. So the smaller they get, the sharper, but also in my belly, that ball's not going to do anything, so I need to stick with the bigger ball. But you will find nice little spots. If we go down here, if you think about pointers on a guy who's got a shirt off, right, you come down into the inside of the iliac, you get that muscle in there, which is wonderful. Now, another great muscle to release is the TFL, tensor fascia latae. So if I go from the top of my hip bone, my ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine, and I go down to my other hip joint, which is the top, the ball and socket of this one here, the greater trochanter, I go halfway in between those and I put that ball into there. Obviously I'm going to be laying down on the floor or I could be up against the wall, and I want to put a lot of pressure into that and then just slowly move my legs. So I'm massaging the muscle under load whilst I'm opening and closing the fibers of the muscle, right? Now that hurts a fair amount, but it's a wonderful release to do. So laying down on the floor, it's quite simple. I'm just going to lay on the ball. And then as I breathe in, I relax. Over the space of about 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to slowly get more and more relaxed into it. And if I'm breathing down into my belly button or Ren 6, then I'm going to feel everything open up, and it's a great muscle. Stereotypically, people with poor posture, girls who do too many crunches, they get very tight six-pack muscles, the rectus abdominis, and they need to open that up. This is a great, a great release for it. Okay, so quite literally that easy, and then into the next muscle, and I'm coming down into here, and I'll push into that there, and that's how do I say that? Down into the pointer muscles on a dude, or down where a C-section would be on a lady, I guess. And then the last one is that ball there, and it's going, again, remember, find that bone and that bone, it's going to go into there, and I'll sit just onto the side of it, and I'll put pressure, and I'll sit there. Now, it should be quite painful. For most people it is, but it's a wonderful release. It takes a lot of pressure out of the hips, out of the lower back and out of the core, and helps your posture, and it will open up your squat a fair bit. Okay, so if I can, whilst I've got that in the right spot, then I'm going to slowly bring up the bottom leg. I'm going to sit there for a bit. I'm going to slowly extend the bottom leg. And if you can't do this to yourself, feel free to grab one of the coaches, put an elbow into the TFL. It feels delightful to have released.